Welcome to Fertile Talks with Dr. Yemi Famuyiwa, a space where science meets the soul of fertility. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Montgomery Fertility Center, a unique concierge fertility practice in Rockville, Maryland. At Montgomery Fertility Center, we combine compassion with precision science to meet every individual's need. It is a place where you'll feel heard, supported, and truly cared for. If you're ready to begin your fertility journey or just need clarity on your next steps, give us a call at 301-946-6962 or visit us online at montgomeryfertilitycenter.com. And before we begin, I want to share something close to my heart. My upcoming book, The Quest for Fertility, coming spring of 2026. This is a must-read for anyone preparing for fertility, thinking about preserving it, or supporting someone on that path. What makes this book special is that it goes beyond the science. It's soulful, a story-driven exploration of real patients' journeys and how they found hope, healing, and strength through fertility challenges. If you'd like to join our Quest for Fertility support circle or get updates about the book's release, visit montgomeryfertilitycenter.com and send us an email. Now, let's dive into today's episode of Fertile Talks, where we'll explore the science, stories, and soul behind the journey to parenthood. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Famuyiwa with another episode of Fertile Talks. So today I want to address my patients who may fall into this unique category of firstborn daughters. So in my office, I see quite a few patients come to me, and they are the firstborn of their family, especially African families. I have quite a few nurses who've spent their 20s, 30s. First, they send themselves to school, they work hard, they work double shift, they accomplish what they need to accomplish. Then they turn around and they help their siblings. So they're sending their siblings to schools, they're paying tuition, and their siblings finish, become accomplished, have children of their own. So after that, they pause. Now they're in their 40s and they say, well, it's time for me to think about myself. And they come to a fertility doctor. But by then, I'm telling them, their ovarian reserve is gone. So I think what we need to do is first educate and know what is your ovarian timeline. Right? We always tell you have about, the most eggs you'll ever have is when you're still in your mother's womb, when you're around 4 months or 5 months gestation in your mother's womb, you have about, 20 million. And that rapidly gets destroyed so that by the time you're born with around 2 million eggs. So you see, there's a loss there. And if you, I had a podcast video explaining the nature of the eggs. I encourage you guys to go watch it. So you come out, you're now down, several million eggs, but then those eggs are in stasis, right? They're frozen in time. They don't resume division till when you start having a menstrual cycle. We call that puberty, menarche. And even by then, that 2 million now is now down to 200 to 300,000 eggs. So again, continued loss. So over the years, women continue to lose their eggs. It never stops. You lose them every month. So typically, fertility starts to decline by the time women are in their 30s, and that decline accelerates after age 35, such that after age 40, you have a very significant drop in fertility rate. And it makes it hard to conceive at that age. And unfortunately, that is the age that I'm seeing some patients approach me to try to freeze their eggs. The problem with that is we tell you to freeze about 15 to 20 eggs when you're 30 to 35 to have a reasonable chance of conceiving one child. If you're over 40, you would need to freeze almost, 50 to 60 eggs to do the same thing because those eggs are no longer working as well. And unfortunately, it is very unlikely that you're going to have that many eggs come out of you. Now, if you lie, I have had several patients where we do get eggs from them in their 40s and they've successfully gotten pregnant. So that's not an issue. But for some people, it's an issue. And then for others, the rate of loss is accelerated such that their ovaries start to behave as if at age 30, their ovary may be behaving as if they're 40 years old. And at age 35, their ovaries are behaving as if they're almost 50 years old. So they have a rapid decline. And so the best thing to do is to do an ovarian reserve check. Check your AMH, talk to your doctor. That doesn't tell you anything about the quality. It just tells you, do you still have those eggs there? So for for my patient, especially the one I have in mind, um, she ended up needing donor eggs. So she did become a mother. It's just she became a mother in a manner that she was not expecting. Um, so I do encourage patients to um, seek help early, and a lot of these patients also they're hardworking professionals, right? A lot of nurses, for instance, and they tend to work night shift and double shift because they have to help their siblings back home or whatever. And that by itself creates an extra stressor on their body. I did an episode where I talked about how sleep deprivation is like adding insult to injury for some patients. So while you're busy caring for all your siblings, that's so admirable. Find a few weeks to take for yourself where you can seek your own fertility preservation and try to freeze your eggs, because not only does your egg number go down with age, the egg quality also go down with age. So you may still have eggs in your 40s, but the eggs don't work quite as well. And that becomes a big issue. So if you are listening to this today and you know someone that may be in a similar situation, reach out as a good friend, a family member, and say, hey, listen, I heard something today. You might want to consider this. Call your doctor, talk to them about, potentially freezing your eggs. So you try to beat the odds, stack the odds in your favor. Right. So thank you so much for another episode, for listening to me. If you found this useful, please comment on the podcast. Send us your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Share with someone who this may benefit um, to know. Thank you once again. And this is Dr. Famuyiwa. Thank you for tuning in to Fertile Talks. We hope today's episode has provided you with valuable insights and support for your fertility journey. Remember, you are not alone. Now, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please simply leave us a comment. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with a friend. Your ratings, your shares, and your reviews are greatly appreciated and is going to help us serve more of our listening audience. Thank you once again. This is Dr. Famuyiwa.